Welcome back to a farm west of Boring, where life is anything but boring. Well, we've just returned from a 3-week trip to Munich, Germany, and so we've been gone since the first part of October, and we just returned last night after a long flight through Washington, D.C. and then into Portland, Oregon. Returning has been a little bit of a shock because when we left, the temperatures daily were in the range of, upper 60s, 70s. It was pretty warm and dry, hadn't rained for quite a while. And today it is about, probably will reach 50 degrees today. And we have had some rain. Today it rained really hard there for a while. We had a rain shower that was, just came down. And so I thought I'd go out, since I haven't really looked at the property for 3 weeks. I thought I'd go out and take a look at how things held up while we were gone. From our trip, I am going to be posting some videos of some things that we did over that 3-week period in Germany. We visited a sawmill manufacturer outside of Munich one day, went to a antique market one day in Munich, and that's where I bought my new hat. I thought this would be a good hat for the sawmill. My other one was getting a little bit old and ragged, so I have a new sawmill hat. The weather generally was very nice in Germany. We had fairly warm weather. It was usually in the 60s to 70s, and very little rain. I think it rained one day. On the last day, we spent in a little village outside of Munich called Gauding. We visited a mill, flour mill, that had actually been turned into sort of a museum. And at one time it had had quite a sawmill operation going there too, being powered off of a water wheel on the local river there. So we had a lot of fun, had a lot of family outings and family get-togethers. It was quite a good time. I did miss Oregon though, and my sawmill, and the chickens, and our chicken shed, which is about 98% done, and just Oregon in general. So here we go. I'll go take a little look at how things look around here. One thing that we did notice when we got home last night was it was pretty cold in the house, probably about 60 degrees, which was a little chilly. So we had to turn the furnace on, which is something that we don't do very often. We normally are burning firewood in the wood stove. So this morning I was able to come out and get some wood. Luckily we have a couple of ICB totes that are full of wood, and I was able to come out and get the fire going because it was a little chilly in the house. So that's nice, but it is definitely a change of season. We're at the end of October. Things are definitely turning to winter here. The garden definitely needs to have a little bit more attention before winter, but not too much. Looks like we have some melons here. And we have to come up and get our potatoes. I think we're gonna have a good crop of potatoes in there. Strawberries are getting ready for winter. Got a couple of sunflowers here that volunteered themselves. The trailer, after our efforts just before we left for Germany to get some logs out at our friend's house, the tongue jack on the trailer broke, so I had to get the floor jack out to get the thing off the truck, and we'll have to do some repair there. The ICB tote, when we left, had about 25 gallons in it, and it is now, I would say, pretty much full. So we've got about 275 gallons in there. After that rain we had this morning, I think that thing was overflowing. I can see we still have some blackberry fighting to do. I think that's going to be a job that's going to probably take up 3 or 4 days in November. Just going out and fighting these blackberries. It's going to be a war. We covered up the offcuts, the flitches from the sawmill, so we could, because they're all pretty dry after sitting out there in the sun. So we covered them up before we left, and hopefully we can get those cut up and use those for firewood. Here's some of our wood that I'm putting together, getting ready for our sawmill shed that I hope to build. And I think we're going to start milling up these Douglas fir logs that we have left to make some more lumber. There's 3 of them out there, and there's these 3 here, so we're going to get quite a bit of lumber out of that. Yeah, blackberries, man, they just go to town. Blackberries. Just want to make sure everything is in decent order in here. Looks like the rain hasn't affected it too much. We covered up some things. We were a little bit afraid that there might be some leaking up above here, but it doesn't look like we've had a problem. Covered up the table saw, make sure that thing didn't get wet. But in general, it looks like things have held up okay in here. No signs of water, I hope. Nope. Looks pretty good. Look, there's a hawk up there, and those those crows are trying to get him out of there. I don't know what the deal is. I think they think that's their tree, and he can't be up there. Yeah.